Buying the wrong SUV can cost you thousands in repairs, endless headaches, and massive resale loss. While dealerships try to clear these lots with massive discounts, smart buyers are running the other way. From underpowered, overstressed engines to hybrid systems that constantly glitch, these are the 9 most hated SUVs on the market right now. Number 9. Nissan Armada. The Nissan Armada starts at $58,000 and climbs past $80,000 for the NISMO model, placing it in direct competition with the Chevrolet Tahoe and Ford Expedition. The problem is that Nissan's badge simply does not carry the resale credibility of those rivals, and buyers are discovering this the hard way. 5-year depreciation on the Armada hits a brutal 66%, meaning your $60,000 investment shrinks to roughly $25,000 in just half a decade. That is over $35,000 evaporating from your driveway. The redesigned twin-turbocharged V6 delivers strong power but recommends premium fuel, adding hundreds of dollars annually to your fuel bill on top of the already dismal 18 mpg combined rating. Owners on forums have reported infotainment glitches, front sonar malfunctions, and power rear hatch issues on brand-new models straight from the factory. For a vehicle demanding nearly $60,000 at the base level, these first-year quality problems are unacceptable and feed the growing frustration among buyers who expected a polished product. Annual maintenance costs average $550, which is reasonable for a full-size SUV, but that number means nothing when you're hemorrhaging tens of thousands in depreciation. The Armada also faces an identity crisis. It is too expensive to be a value play and not refined enough to compete with the luxury-oriented Wagoneer or Sequoia. Buyers who crunch the total cost of ownership numbers quickly realize the Armada burns through money faster than it burns through premium gasoline, and that resentment is well-earned. Number 8. Jeep Grand Cherokee. The Jeep Grand Cherokee carries a starting price around $42,000, but the hatred this SUV receives is not about the sticker. It is about what happens after you sign the paperwork. 10-year maintenance and repair costs average $11,000, making it one of the most expensive midsize SUVs to keep running in America. Annual repair bills average $660, and the frequency of unexpected breakdowns exceeds the segment average by a meaningful margin. Owners are paying premium prices for a vehicle that demands constant attention from service departments. Depreciation compounds the financial pain. The Grand Cherokee sheds approximately 54% of its value over 5 years, leaving you with roughly $22,000 on a vehicle that cost well over $40,000. Consumer Reports has flagged recurring transmission issues, electronic system malfunctions, and body hardware problems on recent model years. Dealership lots across the country are overflowing with unsold Grand Cherokees, a visible sign that the market is pushing back against a product that no longer justifies its asking price. The Jeep name once carried rugged credibility, but years of reliability problems have eroded that goodwill among educated buyers. The 4xe plug-in hybrid variant has depreciated over 50% in some cases, making it one of the fastest value-losing SUVs on the American market. While Jeep continues to rely on brand nostalgia and trail-rated marketing, competitors like Toyota, Honda, and Subaru are delivering superior reliability at equal or lower prices. The Grand Cherokee has become the SUV people regret buying 12 months into ownership. Number 7. Chevrolet Blazer EV. The Chevrolet Blazer EV launched with a starting price near $56,000 and immediately became one of the most disastrous new vehicle rollouts in recent American automotive history. Edmunds documented 23 separate problems on their long-term test vehicle within just 2 months of ownership, including frozen display screens, software crashes, and braking system malfunctions. General Motors was forced to halt sales entirely, pull vehicles from dealer lots, and issue multiple recalls, a level of public failure that permanently damaged buyer confidence. The recall list continues to grow. Unintended parking brake engagement, wiring harness defects, and chassis harness issues have prompted GM to recall over 42,000 units. Owners report brakes locking up unexpectedly while reversing, screens going completely blank during driving, and charging systems that refuse to function properly. Consumer reports flagged the Blazer EV's reliability as significantly below average, citing computer problems, screen flickering, and repeated dealer visits that failed to resolve persistent issues. For a vehicle competing against the Tesla Model Y and Ford Mustang Mach-E, these failures are catastrophic. Buyers spending $56,000 or more expect a polished, functional product, not a rolling beta test that spends weeks at the dealership. The Blazer EV's depreciation reflects this market rejection, with used values plummeting as disillusioned owners offload their vehicles at steep losses. Chevrolet invested billions in the Ultium platform and delivered a product that alienated the exact customers it needed to convert. The Blazer EV earns its hatred not through mediocrity, but through a broken promise at a premium price. Number 6. Honda Prologue. The Honda Prologue starts at $39,000 for 2026, positioning it as a competitively priced electric SUV from one of America's most trusted automakers. The problem is that the Prologue's execution has frustrated the very loyal Honda buyers it was designed to attract. Consumer Reports named it the #1 electric SUV to avoid, citing a combination of slow DC fast charging speeds, persistent software bugs, and front-end build quality concerns that undermine the ownership experience. Charging speed is the most commonly cited complaint. Owners report DC fast charging sessions that crawl at 30 to 40 kilowatts when the vehicle should be pulling significantly more, turning what should be a 30-minute stop into an hours-long ordeal. For buyers relying on public charging infrastructure rather than home setups, this single flaw makes the Prologue impractical for road trips and daily routines that demand quick turnarounds. Software glitches compound the issue, with infotainment freezes and system errors requiring dealer visits that Honda has been slow to resolve through over-the-air updates. The Prologue is built on General Motors' Ultium platform rather than Honda's own architecture, and critics argue this partnership left Honda with limited control over the vehicle's core technology. Buyers who trusted the Honda badge expected the same bulletproof reliability they get from the CR-V and Pilot, and instead received an EV that feels half-finished in critical areas. At nearly $40,000, the Prologue asks for real money while delivering an ownership experience that falls short of what Honda's reputation promises. That gap between expectation and reality is exactly why owners are vocal about their disappointment. Number 5. Jaguar F-Pace. The Jaguar F-Pace carries a starting price around $52,000 and positions itself as a sporty British luxury SUV competing against the BMW X3, Mercedes GLC, and Porsche Macan. The hatred it receives comes from a brutal combination of catastrophic depreciation and questionable long-term reliability that makes ownership a financially punishing experience. 5-year depreciation hits approximately 65%, meaning your $52,000 F-Pace retains barely $27,000 in value, a loss exceeding $25,000 that dwarfs what competing luxury SUVs shed in the same period. Kelley Blue Book estimates the 5-year total cost of ownership at nearly $45,000 in out-of-pocket expenses alone, not including the purchase price. Owners on forums describe the F-Pace as a maintenance nightmare, with electrical gremlins, sensor failures, and infotainment malfunctions appearing well before 50,000 miles. The brand's dealer network in America is sparse compared to BMW or Lexus, meaning service visits often require driving significant distances and waiting extended periods for parts that are not stocked domestically. Jaguar's decision to pivot entirely to electric vehicles has created additional uncertainty about the F-Pace's future support and parts availability. Buyers are understandably hesitant to invest $52,000 or more in a vehicle from a brand that is actively abandoning its combustion lineup. While the F-Pace delivers genuinely engaging driving dynamics and a distinctive design, Those qualities evaporate when you are staring at a $4,000 repair bill and a trade-in value that has collapsed. The F-Pace is a beautiful SUV that punishes its owners financially, and that is why it sits firmly on this list. Number 4. Chevrolet Traverse. The Chevrolet Traverse starts at around $38,000 and climbs past $60,000 for higher configurations, placing it in three-row midsize SUV territory alongside the Toyota Highlander and Honda Pilot. The problem is that Chevrolet is now charging premium money for a vehicle plagued by reliability concerns that have destroyed its reputation among informed buyers. Consumer Reports recently stripped the Traverse of its recommended rating after owners reported a cluster of transmission issues, electronic system glitches, body hardware failures, and sensor malfunctions on the redesigned model. Annual maintenance and repair costs average $656, which sounds reasonable until you factor in the unexpected breakdowns that owners describe on forums and social media. Transmission problems causing abrupt stops, electrical sensors misfiring without warning, and sunroofs that leak completely are not minor inconveniences. They are expensive, dangerous failures on a family vehicle carrying children. 10-year maintenance and repair costs reach approximately $9,000, well above the industry average for SUVs in this segment. Depreciation further punishes Traverse owners. The vehicle loses roughly 54% of its value over 5 years, leaving you with $24,000 on a vehicle that may have cost $50,000 or more when optioned out. Meanwhile, the Toyota Highlander holds significantly more value and costs thousands less to maintain over the same period. The Traverse looks competitive on paper with its spacious cabin and modern design, but the ownership reality tells a very different story. Buyers who discover the reliability problems after purchase become the loudest critics, and dealer lots packed with unsold inventory confirm the market agrees. Number 3. Range Rover Sport. The Range Rover Sport starts at $83,000 and can easily exceed $110,000 with options, making it one of the most expensive SUVs on the American market. The hatred this vehicle receives is proportional to its price tag because the ownership experience is riddled with reliability failures that would be embarrassing on a $40,000 vehicle, let alone one costing 6 figures. The reliability rating sits at a dismal 2.5 out of 5, and average annual repair costs run approximately $1,100, with individual air suspension repairs alone capable of exceeding $4,000. Owners on forums and social media describe transfer case replacements at shockingly low mileage, suspension faults that illuminate dashboard warnings repeatedly, and electrical systems that malfunction without pattern or predictability. 10-year maintenance costs for the Range Rover lineup average nearly $19,000, roughly double what a comparable Lexus or BMW costs to maintain over the same period. The dealer experience compounds the frustration, with service appointments stretching into weeks as parts are backordered from overseas. Depreciation is equally savage. Used Range Rover Sport values collapse within the first 3 years of ownership, with some models losing 40 to 50% of their original sticker price. Buyers paying $90,000 or $100,000 are watching $40,000 to $50,000 disappear through depreciation alone before repair costs even enter the equation. The Range Rover Sport undeniably delivers presence, luxury, and off-road capability that few competitors can match, but it demands a financial tolerance for pain that most rational buyers simply cannot justify. Prestige means nothing when the vehicle spends more time in the service bay than your driveway. Number 2. Alfa Romeo Tonale. The Alfa Romeo Tonale started with a sticker price around $43,000, but the market has spoken with devastating clarity. Used examples with under 10,000 miles are now selling for $25,000 or less, representing nearly 48% depreciation in roughly 1 year. That is not normal depreciation. That is a market rejection that signals fundamental problems with the product, the brand perception, or both. Kelley Blue Book data confirms a 2025 Tonale has lost approximately $23,000 in value within 12 months of ownership, making it one of the fastest depreciating SUVs in America. Common complaints include electrical system failures, battery entering safe mode repeatedly, brake problems that triggered a recall, and HVAC blower issues that required full component replacement. Annual maintenance costs run between $1,000 and $1,200, and 10-year projected costs reach $9,000, figures that compete with German luxury brands, but without the brand equity, dealer network, or resale protection those competitors provide. Alfa Romeo's American dealer footprint is minuscule, meaning service visits often require significant travel and extended wait times for specialized parts. The Tonale was supposed to be Alfa Romeo's volume play in the American compact luxury SUV market, competing against the BMW X1 and Audi Q3. Instead, it has become a cautionary tale about what happens when a niche European brand charges premium prices without delivering premium reliability or ownership confidence. Buyers who purchased at full MSRP are sitting on catastrophic losses, and the used market is flooded with low-mileage examples from owners who simply could not tolerate the experience any longer. Number 1. Maserati Grecale. The Maserati Grecale carries a starting price near $65,000 and represents the Italian luxury brand's attempt to compete in the compact luxury SUV segment against the Porsche Macan and BMW X3. It earns the number 1 spot on this list because no other SUV combines this level of financial destruction with this volume of owner frustration. 5-year depreciation is projected at a staggering 79% according to CarEdge, meaning your $65,000 Grecale could be worth barely $20,000 after half a decade. That is over $44,000 in value evaporating into nothing. Owner complaints paint a picture of a vehicle that feels unfinished. The keyless entry system is described as a disaster, with constant beeping every time you touch a door handle. Owners report spending months with their vehicles stuck in service centers, dealing with engine problems, software malfunctions, and build quality issues that have no business existing on a vehicle at this price point. Annual maintenance costs average $1,500 to $2,500, with individual service visits running $400 to $1,600 depending on the year, costs that stack on top of the already devastating depreciation. Maserati's American dealer network is extremely limited, meaning service options are scarce and parts availability is unpredictable. Buying a Grecale at full MSRP is one of the single worst financial decisions available in the American SUV market today, and the hatred it receives from owners who learned this lesson the hard way is entirely justified. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.